first off, I was really proud of our players. I think that we built a group of men and team that know how to play with resiliency, composure. Really, we talked all week about having discipline to execute in crunch times, and they did that. They had discipline. I thought that our first 3 points came on them jumping off sides, and our kids were disciplined enough to stay on sides, and we stole a drive there. Give Missouri a lot of credit. I think Eli does a great job, and that team's hard to play. I count him as a 3-year starter quarterback. I don't know if that's exactly right, but he played against us here 3 years ago, and they've got tremendous skill and great size on the defensive line. So our kids played really hard. The difference in the game was probably kicking game this time, and Woodring coming through and used his returns and some critical red area stops. And that's what games come down to. You know, he actually said it during the week. Third down the red area, we would look back on as being major critical spots, and they played well in the red area defensively, and we played well in the red area defensively. And a great team, great games, what the SEC is all about, and our reward is we get to do it again next week. So what the life in the SEC is. What that I'll open it up.
What about the interception of Nazi Stackhouse? Can you just see what you saw on that play and how important it was in the defense team?
Biggest play in the game. It was slow motion. We told him after the game we had to get the piano on his back. He said he took out. He just knew he was going to score, and he didn't realize how far he had to run. He was out of breath about halfway. I thought Jalen Walker did a great job. Just a great example of having discipline to not block somebody or clip somebody in the back, and I thought he did a great job there.
You mentioned Peyton, but hitting a career long in a really big situation, just what do you thought that said, the fact he was able to come through with that kick?
Yeah, it shows we have a lot of faith in him, trust in him. I think the toughest call I had all night was on 4th and 5. You know, there's a lot of analytics that will tell you not to kick that field goal because a 6-point differential just tells them they get 4 downs, and you just invited them to have 4. But I thought there was a chance we might have another chance at a field goal, and 3 and 3 would make 9. But if we don't hit the field goal, or we hit it and they go down and score, it's certainly a tough situation. You got to have confidence in the rest of your team; they can stop them. We got about half of that 3rd down back, and there was a consideration there on 4th and 5 to go for it. But because of Peyton and what he's been able to do, we kicked it.
Coach, I think I noticed Kamar last year in the slot. I guess what went into the decision to move him in there, and what does it do for your defense to have a guy that can go do that?
Well, Kamar is a talented football player, and when he first got here as a freshman, we had times that we worked him in the slot. We cross-trained because he's a matchup, really physical tackler, really tough guy, and as we watched him during the week, we felt like we needed to have a weapon, some answers in the slot, and to do that, you got to have guys who can go out to the outside. And you know, Dalen and Julian had to go out there and play. You know, they made some good plays. They had some really close PIs that were tough calls, and they had some really tough back shoulder throws. And when you take Kamari off in that boundary spot, you open yourself to those throws. So we think we have good corners that can play, and Kamari allows us. We're lucky that we have defensive players versatile enough to try to match up to some things they did.
Why do you think this team has been able to make the plays to keep you guys where you needed when you've had so many tight games?
Yeah, I think they believe in our system. We have built a culture of competitive edge in the 4th quarter. We believe that we're the best conditioned and that we're going to win the game in the 4th quarter. We're going to rely on each other. You know, I got goosebumps down my back when they went down there and scored, and Cedric Rampram was yelling at the defense to run off the field, we got your back, we're going to be fine. Because Missouri put together a really good drive, kind of drove it down our throat, and hit us on a lot of fastball runs. And Ced was telling those guys, jog it off, we're going to be fine. And there's a lot of leadership out there, man. We got some really positive leaders.
Kirby, in these tight games, is the locker room seeing pretty much the same in terms of obviously just come out in the second half and you need to hit your pull-out W's?
Look, all games are going to be tight. I don't know, like y'all are acting like we're having tight. I mean, tight games are what you do in the SEC. I mean, there's the margin of victory. It is hard to win. Harrison Broderick came out of Music Coast. It's hard to win. Make sure these guys enjoy it because they realize how hard it is, you know, across the NFL. It's hard, man. I mean, you're going to get every team's best shot, and I thought our guys played a really good football team tonight, and we practiced really well prepared for it. I was proud of the way they played. I don't know if that answers your question, but the locker room's great. I mean, they've been in these kind of battles.
You guys scored on your first 4 drives out of halftime and the fifth when you run the clock out there. What sort of changed with this offense, especially when going into the half you have 2 3-and-outs right before then?
I don't know. I'll have to watch it and see. I can't really tell you what changed. I know that we have a potent offense. We have a lot of weapons. We got a lot of guys that can use, and we got a guy that can get it to them. We got good pass protectors. We got good run blockers. You know, I didn't think we ran the ball overly well in the first half or the second half. You know, the second half had some moments, and you got to be able to control line scrimmage. You can't live your life in second and long all game. And I thought we had a lot of second longs. They won first down more than we did, and Mike did a good job staying with it and sticking with the plan. We were very committed to the run when most teams would have abandoned it.
Kirby, Carson's had a couple of key
intended.
scrambles. Can you talk about what that means when he's able to get those few yards in those situations and he's poised in the second half?
It's hard. Look at us. I mean, their quarterback was the leading rusher probably in the first half, and it's tough on a defense when you cover everybody and he takes off. Their guy made it hard, and our guy made it hard on them. The conversions he had with his feet are just, it makes you as a defense coordinator not want to call certain things, and it takes you out of your element.
Kirby, Carson actually said he almost had to learn how to play football again this year since it had been so long since he'd taken a hit. What has he shown you this year that maybe you didn't know before, or maybe you did know before? Or what's he affirmed to you?
I say it often because everybody asks that question about, I always had a lot of confidence in Carson. I mean, Carson, he did all the things he's doing now, he did them in our practices. He did them against a 2021 defense that may have been one of the top 3 defenses ever, and he did it every day out there. Like, he would go against those guys and be like, man, this guy ain't flinching. So I've seen all these things before. If anything surprised me, it was probably his feet, because he didn't get to use those often in practices, you know. It's like you can't hit him, so he takes off running. It's like we don't know if he got it or not. But his composure and his decision-making and his ability to change protections and know what defenses are doing. I mean, you got to give him a lot of credit. The first touchdown was probably all it is. He saw something, made a change, and did a great job.
Saw Jamon go down with an injury. Any update there?
I'm not sure. I think it's a tibia or it's a fracture or something in the forearm.
How do you feel like the linebackers, CJ and anyone else who got out there, played after he got hurt?
Good and bad. They played before he got hurt. I mean, those guys have played all year, so we need those guys to keep coming and keep growing up. And they've done a tremendous job. And got a lot of respect for those young guys. They've worked for this opportunity, and they go out there and practice every day as hard as they can. And they're really good football players. CJ and Raylan are very talented, and they got thrown in the fire tonight more than normal.
Do you like the preparation process for these games, or do you like the games? Which is more fulfilling, fun, whatever?
I like both. I mean, if you don't like it, I shouldn't do it. You know, it's like, what am I doing this for? If I'm going to spend this many hours and countless hours up in the office till 10:30 at night, coming in at 7. I mean, there's a lot of preparation going on. It was fun to game plan for this one because it was a little more chess match with them, the way they're playing. They're not traditional. You know, they get in some 4 wide sets, and that's not like everybody's 11 and 12. They were 10, and we got to do some different things with that. They create tough matchups, and they get the best personnel on the field when they do that. So I enjoy that part. I enjoy seeing the kids play on game day. I enjoy the decision-making process. As a head coach, I don't have to worry about calling it. I just got to figure out, you know, what's our next step, what's our next play, what's our next way to get an advantage.
You matched Coach Dooley's home win streak now, I think, with 24. What does that mean to get that victory at Sanford Stadium?
It means I have a lot of respect for Coach Dooley, so I want him to keep his name on there forever.
You mentioned that drive where Missouri kind of ran the ball down your throat during the fourth quarter. Just what did you see from them that allowed them to have success on the ground, I guess, overall and in that drive?
Tempo. I mean, they didn't do anything that they haven't done all year. I mean, they didn't scheme us up. They whipped our ass.
It's like they might have wished you a little bit in the first half when we look over 0. I guess what's the key to being successful on the offense, even when facing pressure like that?
They blitz us all game. I mean, it's what they do. They're aggressive. They come after you. They make you beat them, and they come hard. They got 3 sacks on a team that we had not given up many sacks. And I think they ended up with 3 sacks. So they're very aggressive. You got to have answers. We work hard on that. They know that. They know your answers. So it's a matter of it's a cat and mouse game of, you know, are you going to get a better answer than they got and respond to it? And they won some and they lost some.
Can you talk about getting number 10 Ole Miss and your old buddy Lane Kiffin here next week?
Yeah, got a great team. I mean, I go get to work on them tomorrow, and a lot of respect for what Lane's done and built there. He's a tremendous offensive mind. He's gone out and they're playing good defense now too. So it'll be a hell of a matchup because they got a really good football team.
Can you talk about what happened to Kamari when he went down?
He just had his back spasm. I mean, he was fine. I think he just wanted to get up and celebrate so everybody would cheer.
I noticed Xavier Sawyer wasn't out there today.
Yeah, he wasn't with us for personal reasons.
Larry, in the big
Stackhouse.
game, can you talk about McConkey's continued contributions coming off the back?
Yeah, what are you asking about, lad?
If you can just expound on his play today.
Awesome. I mean, great competitor. Maybe we finally completed a post for the first time all year. That he drove in there and Lad went up and made a play. And I thought Rara had a chance for one early. I thought the guy might have got there early, but we didn't get the call. And then Lad hit the one later. He made some people miss. I mean, one play, we didn't block a guy. I mean, we did bubble out there and didn't block it right. And Lad made him miss. And big play of the game is playmaker. Players make plays, and he did.
Kirby Stackhouse said he hit it 18 miles an hour is what he was told.
There's no chance. No chance. The only thing he hit 18 miles an hour on was his bike or a car.
You say this is your toughest test of the season?
They're all tough, bro. They're all tough. There's no difference. They're all tough.
We talked all week about what you learned about your team last year when you guys played Missouri. What do you feel like you learned about your team in this year's game against Missouri?
All the same things. We got a disciplined football team. They do what we ask. We don't get a lot of stupid penalties. They believe in each other. They believe that if they don't win the last moment, they'll win the next moment. And if you win enough moments, you can be pretty good. And we won enough moments tonight.
What's the key to playing good defense in the red zone?
Stop the run. Like, if you can stop the run, you're going to make them do what? Throw. If you have to throw with less area, because there's a back line back there, they don't give you 7 for catching it behind it. So you can sit on routes and squat on things. It forces you to run the ball. If you can't, it shows up big time in the red area. If you can't stop it, it shows up big time in the red area.
I just wanted to ask about Marcus and his status after he was shaken up after that play. And if you could have gone back in and you needed him, would he have gone back in?
You know, I don't even know the answer to that. I didn't realize that he didn't go back in. I remember the play you're talking about, but I didn't get any updates and don't know. I mean, I think he's okay. He was talking after the play, but I can't confirm that.
How was Missouri different from last year to this year? I mean, obviously, really good team both times.
Yeah, very similar. A lot of the same offensive plays. He went out and hired offensive coordinator, brought some new wrinkles in. They're big defensively. Number 6 is a just grown man and one of the hardest people to block in our league. They are really good. They have a good football team. They play sound, good, everything. Special teams, they're sound. It's not like you go in going, ooh, I got them here. You're trying to create an advantage, and it's hard to get a great field goal kicker.
Coming down the stretch, do you feel like you guys are playing y'all's best ball, in November?
I don't know. I mean, I think we've gotten better. I think we got to continue to improve. I thought we had a great week of practice Florida. I thought we had a really good week of practice this week. I expected to play well, and our kids came out and competed on it.
Schrader obviously has a big day. What about, concerns about a running game, or certainly got to tip your cap the way that guy ran and they blocked him?
Yeah, he's a great runner, but they got a great scheme. I mean, they know when to run the ball. They're not running the ball into loaded boxes, and they do a great job for the stretch game. I mean, they run the stretch as good as anybody in college football, and they hurt us with it.
Kirby, can Pop play in a cast?
I don't think so. I don't know that. I have to go and see. I mean, I just got a text with the X-ray on it, so it's one of those that I doubt that he's going to be able to. I don't know that.
Some big catches from Oscar. Just what do you feel like he brings to this offense?
Great kid, great competitor, blocks his tail off, works hard, made catches down the field today. It's what we're recruiting for. I mean, Oscar, that's a good football player.
Coach, should we expect the red zone package with Ruff and moving forward at all? Or is that just the...
Well, we saw a look we thought we liked, and thought we liked it. I told liking him that he gives us an extra dynamic there, and we didn't execute it very good. It wasn't his fault, and I was glad they used it because I trust Brock. I think he brings an extra dynamic to the game.
How did Dom handle the weekend? How do you think, what it meant to him to get in the end zone against his old team?
I know it meant a lot to him. There's a ton of players out there hugging him afterwards. He's such a great teammate and competitor that I know it meant a lot to him, but it meant a lot to them too. That can be emotional, and we talked about, the two things that cause you to lose discipline are loss of emotions and loss of fatigue. And you don't let fatigue set in because you lose discipline. You don't let emotion set in because you lose discipline. And he didn't do that today, and I'm really proud of him.
Let's take two more questions.
Coach, we're disappointed right before half, 2 minutes left. Y'all didn't take advantage of the opportunity to maybe go down and score some more points right before halftime.
Absolutely not. We didn't let them take advantage of it either. So, if we hurry up and punt it to them, they got more time. So the goal is to get a first down and score. If you don't do that, the goal is don't give them the ball. So am I disappointed we didn't quite convert? Yeah, but he didn't call timeout either, because he's sitting there thinking, oh Lord, if I call timeout, I'm going to help him. And then we kicked the ball to them, and they didn't take advantage of it either.
The fans were booing after you decided not to kind of go for it. How you feeling?
Which time?
At the end of the first half, you kind of.
They were booing it at I think the 2 minute mark he's talking about, where we stalled out. But I'll be honest with you, I got to make decisions based on what wins games, not what wins spreads.